Hi there, welcome back. Now, let me now put you through on how to use Expensify to track your expenses. Now, like I mentioned earlier on, you will need to create a profile for yourself. After creating the profile for yourself, this is what the landing page looks like. So here you have inbox. This inbox will just give you a summary of your activity, what you have done. Maybe you've printed a report, you've added an expenses, amongst other things, right? This report here speaks to your expense report. You want to add more expenses, or perhaps the expenses that you have added already, you've submitted and you want to approve, everything will be displayed here. Or if you need to create a report, that is, you need to add another expenses, you can also do that here. Then, of course, one good thing about Expensify is that there is an option for like what we call a maker checker. What is a maker checker? A maker checker is just like a second level of authorization, where one person can submit an expenses and maybe another person can approve it. Sometimes a superior. For instance, maybe on a finance team, for instance, a finance junior or a finance officer may submit an expense, and that expense goes to the queue of, say, a superior, say the chief financial officer, where he then approve the expense before the expense is now being moved for payment, right? So that is one advantage of Expensify as well. You can have the initiator of the expenses different from who will approve the expenses or who will authorize the expenses before you then move to payment. So this is where to show the expenses you have submitted, and this is to also show the one that has been approved. Why I have these two showing is because for this profile, I can initiate expense, I can also approve expense. I have both rights for this particular account. Now, if I go to workspace, this just speaks to the workspace of whoever registered this account. For instance, this workspace is for Elijah Folabi, right? And it's also showing the plan. And it's also important to mention that Expensify is actually free, but being free is just for the first 30 days. You have 30 days trial, after which you then pay, right, to use the software. However, the amount you are paying is a pocket-friendly amount compared to what this software has to offer, right? Then when you come to account, of course, account also shows whoever registered it, Elijah Folabi, the status and all of that, the time zone of where he is, amongst other things. Now, let's get into it. Now I come back to invoice. Let me then try to initiate or add an expense. So two ways. I can either come to reports here, right, and say create expense or create reports. So if I want to create expenses, then what I see next is add expenses. I click add expenses, I see create expense. I can either do that straight from here or from the home page. This sign here that looks like a plus sign, I can click it as well. It will still give me the same thing. It's just to add expense. So I come here, I say create expense. So once I click create expense, then it asks me to upload a file. Now, what makes this software also very good is the fact that it is powered by AI. Rather than typing my expenses one after the other to say, oh, transportation costs or administrative expenses, our amount 25,000, which merchant or which vendor, Lagos state government or something. Once you choose a file, say a receipt or an invoice, the AI tool helps you, it scans through the document and bring out all the information. That will save your time, right? So it brings out the name of the merchant, it brings out the amounts you have to pay, it brings out all the necessary information. So let's just try it and let's see. So if I decide to choose file, right, choose file. Then he asks me to pick an invoice here, so I can pick this already as a sample. So I click open. So I have the invoice uploaded. So all I need to do is just to say create expense. So once I click create expense, it's scanning already. So once it finishes scanning, it brings to me the name of the merchant, the date of the invoice or receipt, the amount, amongst other things. Now you can see, here we go. The amount of this invoice is 45,000. The amount due, the merchant is Lagos Waste Management category. I'm in authority. The date of the invoice 14th of February 2025. What do I need to do? This category is just to speak to how do you want to categorize the expenses. You have about 10 categories here already. So where does it fall? If you are paying for waste management, I could just categorize that as maintenance costs or maintenance expense. So once I do that, then this expense, all I then need to do is to click submit. So once I click submit, then the expense will go to the approval queue of whoever the authorizer is. But why is showing approval here for me is because, like I mentioned earlier on, I have the authorizer, I have the right to authorize the expense. I also have the right to initiate the expense. Right? I have both the initiator and the authorizer rights. Now, then what do I need to do? Now it's coming to my queue. All I need to do is to come to approval queue because I have both right. So when I come to approval queue, what do I have on my approval queue? You can see you have December 1. That was when the expense was initiated. We initiated it, Elijah Falabi. What is the total amount? 45,000, and it's showing outstanding because I'm yet to approve it. So what do I need to do? All I need to do is to click approve, right? Or if I want to see the details of the expense, I click the arrow, I come here, it shows me Lagos Management, blah 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 blah. Then I come back here, I click approve. So once I click approve, that expense has been approved and is now ready for payment. Now a good thing about this software again is that you can also integrate other software with it. For instance, if you have a payment dashboard where you can initiate payment or initiate expense, you can integrate that to this software such that you can, from this software, just move to the payment gateway and make the payment. So having done this, then the next question you then ask yourself is, how do I then get the reports for this expense? The same thing, I can just come here again, click reports. Yes, so once I click the reports, then it gives me the list of all the expenses that I have initiated and approved. Maybe I want to see a report at the end of the month or at the end of the day. What would I do? I select everything, then I click this arrow. Once I click this arrow, what I see next is exports. Export as a basic report, all expense level, all data report level. So I prefer to choose all data report level so that I can have everything. So once I click that, Concierge is the AI tool that works with Expensify. So it just tells me, the message I see then is, oh, Concierge will send you the file shortly. Then I say got it. So two ways, the file will be sent to your registered email address. Yes, and if you come to inbox afterward, once it's ready, Concierge will also inform you that this is ready. So it's important to mention that Concierge is the AI tool that powers this software, right? You can see what I did today is telling me, oh, this has been approved, 45,000 amongst others, right? And also you can also chat with Concierge, right? Like chat generally around, or just like the way an AI tool will work. So these are the reports I have. You can see it's telling me the one I did sometimes yesterday that the report is ready. So once it's ready, I come here and I find it. Then when I download my report, it will be downloaded in XLS format or CSV format. Then I have my report. Isn't that simple? So Expensify is a software you can look forward to using. I hope this has been helpful to you. Thank you very much.